What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the episode. We are going to be talking about Internet Computer, and we're going to look at the price in the week in review. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and look what happened this crazy last week that we had in crypto. And we're going to look at the weekly candle close because this is really important when it comes to crypto, when it comes to those weekly closes, because this is going to give us a good idea on which direction we could be heading in the next week or so. Now, have we hit a bottom? Well, that is not to be decided yet. We actually have a long journey ahead of us. We might have a 2-year bear market coming, or maybe even less, maybe like a year to a year and a half. But just remember that this could be a long term gain. Now, a friend of mine has been making short term gains in his day trading, and you could probably do the same. It's very risky. I don't do a lot of day trading myself, as well, if I had to, I would, like in my journey. But where I am in my journey is more of a long term trip. So we're going to be looking more into the long term prices of Internet Computer and kind of get into that mindset of longer term. I was kind of like, in the 6 month to a year mindset in the beginning. And I've so far moved to about the 2 to 4, maybe the 8-year mindset if, certain things happen. If the price doesn't go up too crazy high, because if it does, I'll want to take profit and then get back in, right? So if I have a chance to do that, I will. But I am in this probably for over 10 years. So we need to look at the longer term price effects. But we are also going to look at those short term ones, because if you would have bought ICP this week when it had its drop to about 569, I believe it was a little bit under $6. And if you would have bought it that time, or anywhere right around there, it was there for, I don't know, at least a day or two at those low prices, 5, 6, $7, and it went all the way up to $10 and something. We're going to go in and look at all that, and then it went right back down to about 8 or something, or 9. We'll take a look and see exactly where the price was. But this week has been kind of dreadful, but it was expected. So the only reason it caught me off guard, that's all. So I knew it was coming. We all knew this was coming. Any crypto influencer out there would tell you this is going to happen. Well, I mean, there's a lot that think that maybe there is a new market now, but it's a cyclical coin because of supply and demand. That's what's going to control the market in the future and going forward. And that's why it's a cool thing that Bitcoin has a finite supply, and it looks like the Internet Computer has a finite supply. As far as I know, they can't keep printing and printing and printing. There is a maximum supply. So that's a good thing. That means that the supply versus demand will change over time. And the more that's out there, in that people are holding. And that's why a good long-term mindset is good, because the more that is staking, the more that's in the hands of us holders, the less that there's out there. And that will increase the supply versus demand. The demand will be up, the supply will be down, because nobody wants to trade the value right now. They know the value in the future is going to be a lot more, and that is what they are counting on. That's why we have 8-year gang, and I'm almost there, man. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be alive in 8 years, but I hope so. Like, I treated my body pretty bad in the past, but hopefully I've healed enough. 11 years of healing, so I should be strong enough to last more than 8 years. But hopefully, right? We never know tomorrow, though. But this is changing everything. It isn't just the price that I'm considering. What if I'm holding one of the tokens that becomes the currency of Earth? Did you ever think about that? One of these cryptos can possibly, if not take over, run side by side with the currency of Earth. Well, which crypto would do? Let's take a second to think. If this is possible for crypto to run side by side with the major government currencies, which will be on the blockchain at this time, can they run side by side, and which one will it be? Well, that's too hard to estimate right now. There's so many thousands of them. But what would you look for one that would be that? Well, one that can run compatibly with other networks. To me, that is one of the major factors of the Internet Computer, is not the bridges. Bridges are only a temporary thing with lots of loopholes in them that can be violated. Now, integration is directly using one cryptocurrency on another blockchain without wrapping it. Could you imagine using just like Solana on Ethereum, but it be Solana, or Ethereum on Solana, but it be Ethereum, not wrapped Ethereum. And you can trade it, for one Ethereum, or however much Ethereum is for Solana, without going to wrap first, and that would cut down on gas fees as well in the Ethereum network. So not only is ICP changing the way that blockchains interact with each other instead of through bridges with integration, they're writing code on each other's blockchain that can be transferred through the integration and through this chain key cryptography that they talk about. That's just one of the craziest technological inventions that I've heard of in a long time, and that is what runs the internet computer and the smart contracts, the network, the canister smart contracts. So let's go in, and I want to look at the price this week. I know I had a lot to say just because there's been so much going on with the Supernova Hackathon. I've been waiting to do this. I'm just glad that I finally got the go ahead to keep making content. So this is what we're going to be doing, stuff like this. So I want to have good narrative for the videos going forward, and just provide you guys a lot of the information that I am researching and getting from Dfinity and from their videos and from their websites, their Medium, and all sorts of stuff. But right now, we're just going to look at the price. I'm going to have a lot of good ecosystem videos coming out as well, but we're going to have a lot of price videos because right now the price is so volatile. Sorry about that. That let me make sure. Okay, everything's good. All right. I just want to make sure we're good. Okay. I just want to look at the price with you guys, so that you can know when to get into this crypto and when not to. So it looks like we have just, kind of a massive dump and recovery. So this is this week. Okay, so let's go look at the week. We're going to look at the weekly candle. That's what we'll look at first, is the weekly. So right now it is after 5. So this is the weekly candle close that we're going to be looking at right here. And so basically this is from last Monday till Sunday. Well, I guess it's Sunday to Sunday, depending on how you look at it. Sunday night, it's Monday on the other side of the world. So that's how it, anyway, it's a week. So basically we went from, let me look exactly. Open high. So we went from a high this week, this last week, of 1216 all the way to a low of 590. That is definitely more than 50% that it went down in 1 week. That is kind of crazy to know that a crypto can go down 50% in 1 week. Now, it says it's down 22.59%, but that's where it closed. So if you look where it closed at 922. And that's why it says only down 2.69, 22.59%. That is not counting where it went all the way down here and wicked. Now, this is a good thing that we're looking at, because technically, I don't really look at wicks too much. I mean, it wicks down there because of manipulation. When you're already at a bottom and you have a wick like this, it's probably because of what Dominic and what Six Fig Stock Trader and a lot of other of the really in-depth people in the ICP are talking about, is the Binance futures trading ICP and trying to short it, which means they're trying to push the price down. And if the price goes down, they make money. So what we need to do is just hold strong. Don't let this scare us. If you're a long-term holder, and buy the dips. Not financial advice. This is just what I am doing and what I'm here to share with you of how to do this kind of thing if that's what you decide. I'm not telling you to do it. So I just want to get that across to you. I'm not saying go put your life savings in this. Don't put more money in the market than you can afford to lose. And if you watch my videos a lot, you're probably tired of hearing that. But this is for the new people and the people just watching my channel for the first time, so that like, what if you're come on here and I'm telling you all this and I never say, well, be careful. And someone's like, well, dude, this guy's saying it's down 50% in 1 week. It's down so low, like I can't lose, right? Well, that doesn't mean go and throw your life savings, your rent money, trying to, pay all your bills, or, go out for, and rent a Ferrari or something. So just be careful. Eventually, if you hold this, you probably will own a Ferrari one day. You're in this basically Bitcoin at $1,000, or even $100, or you're in this at Solana at like $8, right? Solana. So Now let's look and see how long that actually took for it to go down all the way from 12, 16, all the way down to 5 something. Now we can see that on the daily. We're going to go back to the weekly and we're going to bring up some indicators. We're going to bring up some other stuff, but I want to look at this week and kind of digest it a little bit. When something like this happens, you have to digest it. Why? Because if it happens again, you will become more accustomed to these kind of dips. Like, I loved having King Love on here because of what he said about he's been through 2 crashes already. This is his 3rd one. And you end up becoming more accustomed to the price fluctuations and they don't bother you as much. And you start looking at the projects instead of the price. And then that's how you'll succeed in crypto. If you have a solid project that is doing everything that they say they're going to do and the price movements, you can make price, move, and it can go to high prices. It has a bright future and it's integrating with all crypto and it has a brilliant team of scientists behind it. That's what you look for in a project. Same with the graph. I look for it's the Google of blockchains. Solana. It is one of the very few platforms to rival Ethereum. It has smart contracts. It has NFTs. It has all those things that I look for in a successful crypto project. All of those things that a lot of projects promise you but never deliver. Now, let's go look back at this week. So this is today's, and we are down a little bit today because it was over $9, but this is this week. So this is where we closed. So we closed in a pretty good position. And if you look at this wicks right here, they're both saying that we should have went up a little bit. So this red candle might actually turn green, but it might not. It doesn't always follow these things. It is just a like 7 out of 10 time. If something does something enough times, it can be considered a pattern. And so if you don't know candlesticks, they are these things that are sticking down that look like strings, from the bottom of them that go down. And then you have the candle body right here. So when the wick is down like this, bigger on the downside than the up, that means it has pressure to go the other way. Now, we're also going to want to look at the volume pressure as well with the relative strength index so that we can really see where the buying or selling pressure is. Now, there are good things to look at here because we were just oversold, but we were below the median price, this yellow line right here. And historically, when we're below this yellow line and we can't break above it, we stay going down. As you see, it follows it pretty well. It went down the whole time. It had a brief pump here where it briefly went above and then right back below it, leading to further downtrends. See? And when it went here and it went to touch it right there and couldn't, got rejected, a further downtrend. So these RSIs are very valuable and to let you know what is happening and the state of the crypto that you're in. Now, this has already bounced off of this. It broke above the yellow right here. If you can't see, it actually broke above the yellow line right here. And it went down and it touched it as support. It didn't break below it. So what happens? We continue to go sideways and up. It doesn't mean we're going to skyrocket up unless this thing turns upwards. And if it turns upwards and we stay above this line, then we're going to probably go for a little bit until we hit some resistance. Then we'll have some testing. These price targets on the way up are going to be resistance. And there's a lot of factors that we're going to look at today just to see kind of where we're at. This looks good on the RSI. Now, I'm going to go to the weekly, but since we're here, let's bring the daily EMAs out. We can only get 2 of them because I pay for this. I could pay for it, but I think the free version gives you better bang for your buck. You can use 3 of them at a time. You can change them if you need them. It does act a little wonky sometimes, like this, little shaky. Look at that, little shaky, boom, boom. But that is what it is. So 50 there. All right, so we do have a big test in front of us. So basically, all right, let's get rid of this RSI, put that to memory. We broke above the yellow line, used it as support, and now we might go down and touch it again unless we do see this candle start to turn green. Now, the thing is, we did close red on the weekly candle, so that is definitely a bearish sign. And we are below these. Now, I didn't look at the 9. Sorry, I didn't look at it before I changed it to the 21. Okay, so what's the 21? Let's remember that one. So 1138 is the 21. 1138. Remember that. 1138. We didn't look at the 9. Normally, I look at it before I change it. Okay, so 950 is what it's looking at. Wait, hold up. Yeah, so 950. What is that? The SMA? Oh, EMA. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I got confused for a second. I saw SMA and I was like, what? Okay, so yeah, 950 and then 1138. It looks like, look, we came up and we wicked above it for a second and then got rejected. Now we have, an ascending triangle looking deal right here on the daily. Not 100% sure if this is going to play out, but I do like ascending triangles because they are continuation patterns, which is funny because they just continued my grant. That's weird. Like maybe it is going to continue going up. I kind of like coincidences like that kind of go together in a good way. Like, oh, we have a continuation pattern in the charts, and I just got my continuation grant. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, if this breaks the upside, which is going to be testing this the 9. It's going to be testing the 9-day moving average, which should be fairly simple to break. It's the easiest of the ones to break, in my opinion, once we do start getting bullish momentum. Now, like I said, we need to go back and look at the week, though. Before we do that, I want to look at the Bollinger really quick. Let's just grab the Bollinger because I do want to see where that stands. Yeah. So the Bollinger is going to be right up here around with the 21. So we are going to have much more prevalent stuff to deal with right now is the baseline stuff. It's going to take a while to get where we need to be in the Bollinger. As you see, the top is up. We did open it up, but it kind of went to the downside when it opened up. We haven't seen this turn the other way, so that means we haven't got enough momentum to signal a complete reversal. It doesn't look like it's reversed yet, but we do have some bullish patterns in the making, so we'll see. We're going to also look at smaller time frames to see if there's any pressing breakouts, but I do want to look at that week before we do anything because this is going to be really important. Yeah, I all of a sudden got good at TA all of a sudden. No, I've always been able to do this. It's just sometimes I'm more fluent in the way I talk, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little confused on TA. Sometimes I'm certain of it. If you look at the RSI, it's very interesting. If you look at the weekly, we are so undersold, it's ridiculous. But we are also under the yellow line on the weekly. It's really hard to see, but it's a very faint line. Maybe I can zoom in somehow for you guys. Oh, maybe like this. No, that didn't work. Collapse pain. Maximize pain. Maximize pain. No, I don't want to maximize pain. I think we already hit maximum pain before. So let's see. Yeah, so we're under. You can't really see it, but let's just say the RSI is down at 25 and the median on the RSI is at 27. Now, this is significant. Why? Because this means we're undersold on the weekly time frames. Now, this is going to be huge going forward because when you're undersold, I mean, we've barely been over undersold, but we did get up there even recently. So we can go back and look on the weekly. And as you see, we've never really been to, but we haven't had a chance. So this is just the beginning of the crypto, guys. When we are so undersold right now, that means that there is more demand than there is supply. It is just the market's really messed up right now. So if we get a bull run, that means that it can freely pump because it has buying pressure right now on the weekly and on the daily as well, and it's above the median on the daily. So, but on the weekly, we don't have as far up to go on the median price. Now that's good. So we only have to go to $18. I know it is more on the grander scale, but if you look at the difference in the long-term price effect, it isn't that big of a leap to this because that was our last platform was right around $22 to $23 before we had the major dump. So we're looking at about $18. If we see a massive recovery, that is going to be a big resistance level. So that we do have a hard future in front of us. But if we keep diligent, we keep, letting them integrate, do what they're doing, the price is going to skyrocket one day out of just sheer, overwhelming amount of people using the network because it is that good. And that's why I think this could possibly be the currency of Earth. Yes, Elon Musk, I said it. I think the currency of Earth is going to be ICP. It's the most logical one. Why am I not saying Bitcoin? Well, because Bitcoin isn't integrating with, ICP, Ethereum. It is partnering with Ethereum, but it isn't integrating with all of the other blockchains. Yes, some of them do utilize Bitcoin in their blockchain, but I don't think it's enough to actually, and it's not scalable. Most of the ones that actually can do that with, Bitcoin and the other ones, it can't be scaled to mass because I showed you it. Well, I haven't made the video yet, but if you go watch the Dfinity Supernova Hackathon, you can see this. They talk about basically how it is going to be programmable on any other blockchain. It's integrating almost, code. You can use code in one system to another. Now, if it's full integration with every single system, I'm not sure. It might be one at a time. But they are definitely working towards that. So that's what I said earlier. What would a world currency be? And I'm not talking about like a socialist world currency, one world currency. I'm talking about like running alongside the US government currencies and other good crypto, but it's going to be the mainly used one because it can scale to billions of people. It can do so many transactions per second for such a cheap rate. Like I was starting to say, basically you can store 1 gigabyte of data on the internet computer for 1 year for $5. Now, if you do Solana, it's $522,000. If you do Ethereum, it costs $100 million to store 1 gigabyte of data. They cannot scale the mass because of the gas fees and the miners. They won't let it happen. But Internet Computer is already on its way to being the leader in Web3 and the price juggernaut because it's super undersold. And when people realize its value, it's going to be too late. It's almost like, Bitcoin, when Dfinity was screaming at everybody to just buy $1 worth of Bitcoin, and see what happens in the future. What if you buy one ICP right now and it goes from $8? You put a $10 bill into crypto. I'm not saying to do that. You put a $10 bill into crypto right now and you wait, you come back and look at this, the next halving, the next pump we have, the next massive bull run that we have, and it is $700 to $1,000. You put $10 in and now you have $1,000. You just 100x your money like nothing. Like just for putting $10. That's what I'm saying. That's what Bitcoin. If you put $1 in Bitcoin right now, you would have had $30,000. I mean, that's a little bit more than ICP at that level, and it can even go a lot higher. So those are the things that I look about. Now, I do want to see the maximum supply because I don't remember offhand. So the total supply, it looks like 481,574,169. I think this was 500 million, but with the cycles, that's what I'm assuming. That's my educated guess. I'm not really assuming. That's my educated guess that a lot of that crypto must have been burnt with cycles because cycles run the programs on the internet computer, the exchanges, the NFTs, all of the stuff, the open chats, the social media, all of it, the canister smart contracts, it runs the whole system. So basically they burn cycles when they do that. So you have to use ICP, turn the ICP into cycles, and then when the cycles get used up, they burn the ICP. They burn the cycles, which is the ICP that you put to buy the cycle that gets burnt. And that's what it looks like. And so it looks like the total supply is out now. It doesn't say the maximum supply. That I don't know because it doesn't say. If I don't have the information, I don't know. But look at this. Look at the diluted market cap, $4 billion. It's a $2 billion market cap right now. $112 million in volume in the last 24 hours. And we have a 22% down in volume in the last 24 hours. Now, they did get the price nice and, back up there. It was at $5 and now it's at like, $9. So things are looking good. Now we can go to the lower names. so that we can see if there's any pressing breakout or if that ascending triangle is legit on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. We'll see if it plays out or if that's just on the daily. Now that looks like a good ascending triangle. I like it. And the good thing is on the 4 hour, we're above the median on the Bollinger. As you see, we broke above the Bollinger right here, and we tested the top of the Bollinger Band. Or nope, sorry, that was the EMA 50. The top of the Bollinger Band's up here, my bad. It tested the EMA 50. That's why I said even if we break out, we do have to touch these exponential moving averages. And once we break out of them and close above, then we turn them into resistance and keep going up. That didn't happen. We ended up wicking above it, going back down and closing pretty far below it. Then we went in a sideways, this straight line right here. Then we kind of fell, and then we made our way all the way back up to exactly where we were over here, which creates this resistance level, which is a flat top. And we have this rising uptrend, which means an ascending triangle. It looks really good. I would like to see a breakout to the upside. It's kind of getting squeezed in here at the end. So it's kind of a make or break thing. We do have a lot going for us. Let's see where the EMA 21 is. That's something I would really like to see. Because if we're above the EMA 21, we have already broke one major level of resistance. Okay, where are you? 863. Yes, we did. So we are above the 21, and that's a massive level of resistance. Now, hopefully, as our support at 863. That is why I think we're holding our own at 889, that 21-day moving average. Now, if we can break above this, I can see us going and even touching back up to the 50. We're at the top of the Bollinger. I'd like to see it open up a little bit wider, and I would like to see the RSI go even higher. We're only at 50, right? Oh, yeah, we can go way higher. So we're doing good. We're on our way up. We are above the yellow line on the 4 hour, which is good. We have established support. As you see, the whole time we have broke above this. We have had an uptrend. Even when it went down to touch the yellow right here. When we had this downtrend, it went down and touched it, and it used that as support, went up and touched it again, and then again, and now here we go again. So this could mean that we are ready for another pump unless this breaks to the downside. So this is going to be a weird spot, and we're going to have to keep an eye on this in the next few hours because this could indicate a breakout, at least to maybe $10 again, maybe a little bit higher. Right here at about 958, all the way up to where's the 50 at, and then we'll look at the 100. And then we could even look at the rate moving averages if you want. So that's at 946. So that's going to be our first resistance. And then the Bollinger at 958. And then the 100 is way high. So that's at 11. Now, that is where I could see this going if we do decide to break the 50 and then the Bollinger and turn it up. If we can turn this volume and keep going. But we would need a continued Bitcoin market to keep going. It's looking good right now. It really is. It's still doing good. Yeah, 1 hour. I like it. Ascending triangle, continuation pattern. That's how I look at it. It's called a continuation pattern. Well, what is it doing right now? It's in an uptrend. The trend is your friend till the end. It's in an uptrend, right? Well, and we're getting oversold. That's why I look at the 1 hour. See how we just broke below? This is why I go and look at all the time frames. We're bullish on the 1 day. We're bullish on the 4 hour. Well, we still can recover on this one because we went all the way to 53. We are going to have this median level as support. So this could signify a reversal, guys. It's not for sure, but I'd be watching for that reversal. If not, we're going to go touch down at 874. And then, like I said, on the 4 hour, we have another one at like 850. So we have a nice, and then here the EMA 100, which is awesome. We broke above that on the 1 hour at 867. So we have some nice levels of support right here. We did touch the top of the Bollinger, but it didn't open up enough. We kind of had resistance there. Now, if I look at the 200, it's probably somewhere close to the top of the Bollinger, I'm thinking. It might be higher, but I just have a feeling. Okay, maybe not. I was wrong. I had a feeling that was wrong. So yeah, it's much higher at 949. I was thinking maybe that is at the top of the Bollinger too, but nope. Just that just shows the Bollinger kind of tells you when you're at your top as well. So I'm gonna be looking for these. It's just when I make my videos, I gotta like maybe do a random video when I see something like this. That way I can tell you about these price moves. Like here's one that's coming probably soon, but we won't know until see we still have more downward pressure because we haven't seen a wick. See that it just went down a little bit. That means the bears are in control. Okay, the bulls just pushed back. So that's what you want to see when it goes down. You don't want to see this just flat because that means we're at the very bottom and we could be pushed further. Now, when it goes back up and you see a little candle wick, then we're, fighting back. The bulls are fighting back. So hopefully we can hold this level. If so, I do see a possible move to the upside. 30 minutes, let's see. Okay, it did break below there on the 30-minute. What is this? Okay, that's nothing. That's a line that's the ascending triangle. So we do have an ascending triangle even on the 15 and the 30-minute. So as long as we don't break to the downside of the ascending triangle, we're still good. Now the Bollinger, that does suck. We broke below, but that's only on the 30. Let's look at the 15-minute and see how the extent of this looks. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the Bollinger on the 30. I really think a reversal might be happening very soon. At least going and touching up to here. So maybe look at $9, 920 something if it does go to the top. But it does look like we're having a reversal. I don't know if there's going to be a reversal. We have to keep an eye on those the 15 minutes. So, but I just think there's a reversal because of everything, the median on the Bollinger, the bottom here, the support on the RSI, it looks like we are below the RSI as undersold though. So we need to break above that before I do see us being bullish though. So when it comes to volume, now there's not enough people buying. That's what this is saying. So right now, there might not be a reversal unless more volume comes in. That's what I would like to see is more volume, more buying pressure. That could mean that people are steadily buying though. They're not all coming in at once. It has kind of turned sideways like it wants to stop going down. So we could go a little further down, but I think that there could be a reversal happening, but it's not 100% sure. And let's wait for the thing to be sure, right? So reversal does happen. Where could this go? That's the question. Well, 920 something. 4 hours. Okay. Oh yeah. Another 4 hour looks really good. I mean, we do have these trends even in this, uptrend we're in. We do have brief pullbacks to that, upward trending resistance line, and we're still well above that. So we have no reason to think we're going to go any further down either. It looks more like it's going to go up than down. So we are definitely going to have resistance at, like, if we get up to that 921 level, there's going to be a lot of resistance. If we break above that, then I can see us maybe even going back up to $10. Now, this all depends on Bitcoin and the way that this candle moves. So I'm going to do an update on this probably tomorrow or something because depending on if nothing plays out and it does nothing, I'm not going to do an update. But if we get something that I think is going to break out, I'm going to do an up to the minute update. So guys, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel so that you can know exactly when the internet computer price is going to move just by these indicators that we have with the RSI, the Bollinger, the EMAs, and all of these other wonderful, tools that we have to guess the market, ascending triangle, continuation pattern, the uptrend, all of those types of things. Now, if this turns into a rising wedge, we could have a pullback. But for right now, this is not a rising wedge. This is an ascending triangle, which means continuation. I love it. All right. I think I've talked enough this episode. This was probably my best TA ever. which is weird because I wasn't really feeling all that hot today. Like mentally, I'm great, but my body sometimes. That was the problem I had in the past. I know, like we have problems. You guys don't want to hear about problems because you're overcomers. Most of you guys who are here have been through a lot in your lives. So when I say this is not complaining, guys, know that. I am not complaining. I'm blessed. I'm privileged. Like I know that. Like I have been blessed, by God. And so and I know you've been through a lot. So when I say these things, it's to show you can overcome. No matter what happens, prices can drop, things can happen. A lot of this stuff is temporary. If you're a short-term trader, it's a very risky market. But if you're a long-term trader and you believe in good projects, it takes a lot of that risk out. Even when you see the price drop, it doesn't affect you as much. It still affects you because you're human, and we just have something in us that doesn't like to lose money. I don't know what that is. Like even when you're like, I don't care. There's always like something nagging. It's like, but you lost money. Like I honestly don't care, but like somewhere in the back of my mind, I guess I do. Like deep down, I guess I care a little bit that I lost money, but not enough to affect me. So you guys are awesome. Look at these price movements. If you're a day trader, I will be trying to do a really good, reversal signals for you guys in the future so that we can establish a better community here. Because that community video that I did, all of you that showed up are amazing. Thank you for that. But I want us to have a big community that has people that want to show up for community meetings because we brought value to you. We gave you a platform. We did something for you. We're not just here to have you hit the like button and comment on the video. I didn't even look at the comments this video. I'm sorry. I got on a roll. But in the future, I just want to build this community. And that is my goal, is to have you guys on here and to give you a platform. And if you can teach me stuff about the internet computer, then do it, please, because I don't think I'm not a know-it-all. I am willing to learn. That's why I'm in awe sometimes when I watch Dominic. That's why I'm making these videos to show and take certain parts of that video, because not everybody has 3 hours to watch a video, and they might miss out on some of that amazing content that was buried in the middle there. So I might be able to make like 5 or 6 videos off of the Supernova Dfinity Hackathon alone. I've already made one. I'm downloading one to my Google Drive right now to send to my editor. That's the second one, and that's just in one day. So we're going to start pumping out some content. We're going to try to keep you guys up to date on the price movements. We're going to be looking at other Web3 projects as well, like we normally do. But it's going to be a lot of ICP focused, long-term price mindset. And I'm maximizing my rewards by staking. So I was only getting a certain amount of rewards because I was only staking for like less than a year. And so it was really diminishing the rewards. And then you compound. That is another video I'm going to make. I'm going to make a very detailed, edited video about the internet computer staking process in the network nervous system, because there is a lot of things on there that I didn't explain as well that I would like to. I'd like to show the staking calculator, and I would like to have it edited with like my intro on it and just the solid video. Because imagine the videos that I did before that were kind of iffy. They were good, but they could have been better, right? Imagine those ones, how much they would have got if they were just fine-tuned and that little extra effort put in. So I put a lot of effort, but I could have planned a little bit better. Like sometimes it seems like I need to script my videos just so like I know exactly what I'm going to say. So I never have those moments of, huh? But that happens with any geek out there. I guarantee any computer programmer gets stumped sometimes, man. You get around it, you get over it, you get through it, but sometimes you get stumped. I bet they got stumped a couple times trying to integrate Bitcoin with Ethereum. I'll bet you they pushed through though. We're overcomers. Okay, now I am going to look at the chat because that is something I want to do, especially if you got something to tell me about ICP. Oh man, see, there is a lot of people. Sweet. Justin, my dude. I can make you moderator again if you want, man. Should I do some giveaways? I'm feeling pretty generous right now. Not like generous, just generous, a little generous. A little generous. For some reason, I can't chat on mobile. Sometimes that happens to me too. Why did it just add me? It just sent me to an ad on my own video. With my, I'm logged in under my own account too. Sent me to a ad. What are you doing? Slightly. What video is that? Jack Gargity? Okay. Yeah, you can share any ICP content that's by Dfinity and stuff in the chat. I won't kick you, or and I won't ban you or hide you or anything because they are awesome. And if you find something that I didn't see on there that you think should be talked about, guys, you have a place in this community. If there's something that you're like, hey man, I saw something, make a video on this. And if I don't hear you the first time, tell me again. I get busy sometimes. And so like if you tell me something and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, and then I forget about it, let me know again, man. Sometimes if you ask me like 5 times and I don't answer, then I probably don't want to talk to you. But most of the time I will answer you guys back at least. So it's not just a Web3 platform; it is the Web3 platform, and that is what I'm thinking. That's why I think it could possibly take over and become the new internet. Imagine you had another chance to buy Microsoft, but on the blockchain. What if Internet Computer is Microsoft 2.0 on the blockchain? It's Amazon Web Services 2.0 on the blockchain. Now, when I said if I couldn't, get this grant, I was going to go to work at Domino's or Amazon. I didn't mean just because it was a competitor of. I didn't even think about that when I said it. But it's in my area. It's probably something that I would have done. An area I would have went to look for a job. But then I was like, man, that's a complete competitor to Dfinity. I don't want to do that. Like, so I don't know if I would have felt comfortable ever working at Amazon. Honestly, they'd probably fire me if they found out I held ICP. They're like, man, this is like $1 trillion industry. Amazon Web Services, storing data on the cloud for like trillions of dollars a year. And this guy comes out and does it for $5. Like, I'm sure they're just furious, man, because when Ethereum came out, $100 million to do it. Solana, a little better, $522,000. ICP said $5. $5 pizza. ICP, Bitcoin. First pizzas bought with Bitcoin. That's a weird little loop we just went in through there. Smash that like button, guys, if you're having as much fun as I am, even though the market's down. This is where the millionaires are born. I know people say that all the time, but we're going to find out within the next few years. Even if the systems crash, the cool thing about Internet Computer, somebody said something to me. I'm not going to disclose who it was, but they said the United States government and other governments like Canada can come in and shut your bank account on you. They can come in and take what's yours. If you work your entire life and the government wants to, for any reason, well, they'd have their reason. It would have to be a law or whatever reason they have. If they think you're extorting or whatever the reason is, they can come in and freeze your bank accounts. They can come in and stop your money. They can come in and, the IRS can come and liquidate your house if they want, but they can't touch your crypto. Nobody can touch your crypto. Why? It's on the blockchain. I mean, a judge could order you to give them the private keys, and pay them your crypto. Like, that's about it, though. They can't like force you to do it. If you said no, what could they do? Like torture the private key out of you? Like, they couldn't do that. So it brings it to where you have complete control. Even if the world around us, I don't think there's going to be a major catastrophe that happens in the world. But if it does, if something big does happen, even worse than what happened to us before, like a major, especially with what's going on with Dummy over there, uh, they could, you're in control at that point. You don't have to rely on a government money if you don't have to, right? If something happens, major catastrophe, you'll still have what you need, and they can't come and take things away from you. You still, if all the banks go offline, you still have access to your money. You probably do it. You could do it through like a wallet, and then there might not be much of a. You could pay directly with crypto. That's what you would have to do. you would have to pay directly with crypto. If all the banks were down, people would have to start trading crypto peer to peer. Like, hey, I need water. I have like 10 ICP. Can I give you 10 ICP for some water? They're like, yeah, because ICP is one of the only currencies that works right now. All the other currencies and the banks got shut down and everything off the grid. The grid's down, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, if the grid went down, so would the internet. But I'm just saying, not quite that devastating. But if that quite devastating, then we might as well just kiss our butts goodbye. But yeah, so you could actually protect yourself with ICP. I'm not saying go do anything illegal and try to, no, because it's all public knowledge. That's the cool thing. They're saying, oh, so many people use this for that. Well, yeah, go ahead and use it, but we can trace it. Like, if I wanted to know, I kind of do want to know. Like, they never approved me for the grant. They never sent me a letter. I just ended up with money in my account. So I assume, unless one of you sent it to me, that I got approved, right? And so I want to know where that's from, right? I could go and look at that address that sent it to me, and I can backtrack and find out where that money came from. Right? So if I look, hey, that account is, assigned to Dfinity or one of Dfinity team member or Dfinity node or something like that, then I know, hey, it came from the foundation. Boom. And if it came from just somebody's private wallet with a bunch of other crypto in it, then I would know. Boom. So that's cool. And you can trace the transactions. It's all ledgered and the integration of all of it, guys. So this has been a crazy week for crypto. The Supernova Hackathon happened, which was amazing. If you have not seen it, I'm going to link it again in the bio. I think I'm going to link it in the next 10 videos I do, because you guys have to see it. I want as many people to see the Supernova Dfinity Global Hackathon event. They need to see that. It has so much jam-packed information. And if you can't watch it all, I will break it into little pieces for you. At least go watch part of it, though. Take 10 minutes and zoom through, listen to some of the things Dom has to say, and you won't regret it, man. You never regret learning something, right? So it's not a waste of time. All right, guys, let me look at the chat now and really start answering some questions or whatever. Thank you for sending good stuff about ICP again. So that's a good way to look at ICP, as kind of a machine. In a way, it is, because it has certain components that make it run. You need the chain key cryptography, you need the canister smart contracts, you need the ICP token, and then you can build off of that. And they have their own language. You need the code language as well. The chain key cryptography uses Motoko as the native language, but it's also interacting where you can build if you have, language in Rust. And there's a lot of other ones on there that I pointed out in previous videos that you can use to develop on the blockchain. They make it really easy, and the price is so far down right now. I know a lot of people out there are always going to say it's going to keep going down. People say that about all crypto. I was there in 2020 when everybody says Bitcoin was done for, and it was even after it went all the way down to 3,000 and then back to 10,000. People were still saying it's done. And I was like, no, as soon as I figured out what it was, what Bitcoin was, that's why I was so attracted to the internet computer. As soon as I found out what it was, when I first saw it, I was like, internet computer. The name threw me off. I'm not going to lie. The name internet computer, I didn't know what to expect, right? And then I looked at the project, and it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. And that's what I think a lot of people, that's going to be something they have to get over, because they think it is revolutionizing the internet. So it's hard for people to comprehend that, just like it was hard for people to comprehend the internet before the internet, right? Like older people and the people that weren't actually active in building it, it took a generation or two for us to get a hold of computers. Now, most of the older generation can use computers, and they're fluent in it now. But if you were to reverse back into, the 1990s, a lot of the older generation would not have known how to use a computer. Like now, older people can use crypto, they can buy stocks, and a lot of people could have bought stocks before, but they use like a broker. You can go do it all yourself now. That this world is becoming a more hands-on, and that's why I think now is the time in the world for this technology. everything, the cars came out at the right time, you know, when we became able to fly right after that. So things come out in the time that they're supposed to. And this is the time of Web3 and a new decentralized internet. So we're going to have a nice price reversal. Hopefully, we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm not saying it's going to, but we're going to watch for that breakout. We're going to look for a reversal. We're going to hope it goes back over that RSI. And if it does, we're going to be bringing a nice, quick emergency video out for you guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't hesitate to educate. You're funny sometimes, man. That's why I keep King Love around, man. He's got good ideas and he's funny sometimes. You link your physical hardware to your internet identity to secure and log in. Ooh. So I didn't know when you were talking about Pulse Chain that it was Hex. I know about Hex. You had me talking about something that I don't like talking about on my channel. You didn't know that. I didn't even know that. I'm not going to be talking about Hex on my channel. I know Wendy does, but it's just too controversial for me, and it's something I don't want to be a part of. That's all. I mean, if you guys like it, hey, but be careful. Like, there's a lot of stigmata that goes with that. And it isn't that it might be a bad coin or a scam or anything. I just don't want to deal with it. That's just my opinion. You know, some people think that way about other cryptos. So I hope you guys are having a good night. ICP to the moon, not just the price, but the project. I can't wait to see these roadmaps going forward and the check marks going off on everything they're doing. I can't wait to see the videos I make about it too. So I'm going to be searching through Medium. I'm going to be searching through more Dfinity videos because they put out like 10 of them in one day. And I've only been able to watch one or two so far. One or two, I think. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. Try to get a lot more information for you guys. Keep an eye on the price. And who knows, maybe in a couple hours, I'll be doing a price breakout video. So, all right, guys, that being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin. Bang!